So getting leadership buy-in on new resources and additional headcount can be difficult. A lot of our listeners struggle with that. So can you talk about how you went about approaching getting these additional resources?
So the way I approached it is I showed them all the threats and intel that were coming in from AlertMedia, actually saying, hey, these are all the issues and things that are occurring throughout the country. I was really looking for a threat intel analyst in-house to kind of help me prioritize our responses and hopefully be a little bit more proactive, not just in crisis management and business continuity, but in some other areas that we're dealing with. So I was able to get a headcount for a threat intel analyst on the team. So she started here recently, one of the best in the industry, in my opinion. The way we kind of went about it is to show how much more we could do if we could prioritize the data and the intel that's coming in so we could have a better response when we're going out.
And as you think about growing the team in the future, are there other things you want to do other than just thinking about the immediate safety of the people that work for the organization? Is it about maybe supporting the business to help them make better decisions about things that are purely business related?
So right now, if an event happens that impacts a large area or a large group of people, the fires out in Hawaii, the Maui fires was a good example. So those fires devastated a lot of families and a lot of homes and things like that. And so one of the ways that we can respond to that, first we check on our employees, make sure they're okay, and provide them whatever aid that they need to be back up and running. But then we also reach out to our agents, they're called premier agents that work with Zillow to sell homes. We suspend their fees so they don't have to pay why they obviously can't work for our services. And then we also suppress ads in the area. So we don't want to be advertising homes for sale in an area that just got devastated. So we want to be sensitive to that. We want to be sensitive to those people that are experiencing hardship in those areas. So we'll suspend ads in there for a time and not push the premier agents and things like that. So we do a lot of that stuff for the company right now. Just kind of give them the intel of what's going on the ground so they can make those decisions on whether to suppress ads and things like that, which AlertMedia makes it great. They'll ask me for an update for a certain situation, things like that. I can usually just go right to the page, go to the latest update, cut and paste that in there. They think I worked really hard on it, but I just plagiarized it. So, yeah, you guys' intel is fantastic. It's easy to understand, and I can use that to push up to higher leadership and things like that so they can make some more strategic level decisions. Recently, the Maryland shooter we just had, for those of you that were familiar in tracking that, the certain area out in Maryland was locked down for over 24 hours where they were looking for an active shooter. It was a pretty bad incident kind of across the board, but I did have an employee in the lockdown zone, and I was able to reach out to her and kind of provide her intel actually faster than she could get it from the city. The AlertMedia messages were coming in. I was actually letting her know a couple hours before the news came out that the individual had been found deceased and that the lockdown was over. So she was actually able to go to sleep that night and get some rest that she hadn't been able to do the night before. So things like that kind of make it just more personal.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And it sounds like that the management, the organization believes this will help people be more productive. Would you say that's a pretty fair statement?
Yeah. I like to believe that, employees know that the company cares for them. They'll perform better and able to do their job and kind of just have a little bit of peace of mind.